President Biden lives to blunder another day. Now, I know that's not nice. I know. But did you see him yesterday in the press conference? Strutting around there, a little peacock. Anyway, let's get into the facts. So the reason that the red wave did not appear, according to the University of Chicago study, they study these things fast, is because independent voters broke 4 percentage points for the Democrats. Unexpected, totally, because independent voters have to pay the high prices everywhere. They can see the deterioration of crime. They can see the open border on television. They can see it all. 4%. Now, I thought be 20% edge for the GOP on independents, and that was it. That was it. Now, we don't have an ethnic breakdown or anything like that, but we do have 3 battleground states, and this is shocking. Pennsylvania, independents broke for Democrats by 18 points. Whoa. Georgia, 28 points. And Arizona, 30 points. I'll deal with Arizona in a moment, but something wrong out there. Okay, so that's it. That's what happened. Now, in my analysis of what the independents were thinking, abortion played a bigger role than I might have predicted. Not among men, but among women. Okay, nothing you can do about it. The Supreme Court's decision came down the way they always do. There was no politics involved in it. There's no timing involved in it. But younger independent women want abortion on demand for any reason at any time, no limitations. That's what they want. And of course, if you're a conservative Republican or even a moderate Republican, you can't support that. You can't. So anyway, that was number one. And number two, it was the specter of Donald Trump. That denier thing, big lie, insurrection, January 6th, among the independent voters, big, still. Republican voters have put it behind them. Democratic voters use it to, stamp up outrage. But independent voters, still there and gone away. Interesting. So as I said there, Joe Biden comes out. You might remember I used to do a body language segment on the O'Reilly Factor. I brought this woman, and the Fox executives hated the segment. They hated it. I never took it seriously. I thought it was just good TV. So we put a politician on, and then the woman, who was a smart woman, she'd analyze what he did. His elbow up here, he was touching his head, whatever it may be. Now, to me, it was just, back in the book type stuff, Water's World type stuff. But the Fox brass, didn't matter. I always did what I wanted anyway. So I watched Biden's body language last night, and it was pretty interesting. Roll cut 1.
And I know you were somewhat miffed by my obsessive optimism, but I felt good during the whole process. I thought we were going to do fine. While any seat lost is painful, some good Democrats didn't win the last night. Democrats had a strong night. And we lost fewer seats in the House of Representatives than any Democratic president's first midterm election in the last 40 years. And we had the best midterm for governors since 1986.
All right, so he's now, we're doing great. So no self-doubt there. And I'm serious. No self-doubt. He thinks he's doing great. Okay. And very, very pleased with himself, Joe Biden. Very, very pleased with him. Now, in the press conference, his wife, Jill, sat about 15 feet away the whole time. Very, very interesting. And sometimes she was on camera, you could see her. I had never seen that before. Can you imagine Melania Trump in a Trump press conference, or Michelle Obama looking over Barack's shoulder? No. But there was Jill Biden. Okay, roll cut 2. This is a question from the Associated Press reporter Zeke Miller.
You mentioned that Americans are frustrated, and in fact, 75% of voters say the country is heading into the wrong direction despite the results of last night. What in the next 2 years do you intend to do differently to change people's opinion of the direction of the country, particularly as you contemplate a run for president in 2024?
Nothing, because they're just finding out what we're doing.
Nothing. Going to do exactly what we do. Okay. Now, today, the Biden administration got good news as inflation dropped from 8.4% in September, 8.2% in September, to 7.7% in October. Okay, down 0.4%. The math isn't really adding up here because there's little decimal points all over the place, but it was a drop. And that's good news for the country, including the Biden administration. Inflation came down just a little bit. Now, the unintended consequence, which you'll never hear, is in order to make that happen, that drop, the Feds had to raise rates, lending rates, okay? And when you raise lending rates, whatever you want to borrow for goes down. So housing is the big one. The mortgage rates are high. People say, well, maybe I'm going to buy the house now, or the car now, okay, or the big ticket item, whatever it may be now. That will catch up in 23. And that's why people fear a recession, because the big ticket items that you have to borrow to acquire are not being bought as much with high interest rates. The better news is that the Fed probably will not raise as dramatically. So the next time around, it might be 0.25% because they're on the downside. Okay? Now, will you see prices come down? No. The lag time is big. So people in business, they want to make as much money as possible. They're not going to go, oh yeah, we're going to drop this today or the mortgage rate today. No. That takes a while. So gas, for example, is going up. So average price in the country is $3.80 a gallon. Now, last week it was $3.78, up 2 cents this week. A year ago it was $3.41. All right, so it's still a problem for Americans and all of that. So I see next year an economy that is going to be weaker.